Hey guys, it's Dragon Rockstar here. I've had a couple comments actually, stating that I should do a few test hands of the deck. So I'm gonna try it out and see how this goes. This might be a shorter video, but yeah, I'm gonna do a few test hands, and then I'm gonna also show you some combos and show you what cards you really need in your hands to get you going to establish a board. And I'll show you what kind of board you, well, let's go ahead and just show you what kind of board you really should establish. Like, depending on your matchups will determine what boards you should have. But say if you're going against Sky Strikers, the one board you should have will be like, let's get this up right here. The one board you should have or try to make successfully will be a Sayuja right here. At least a Abyss Dweller, at least, or Bujin Atamasos. Either one suits it up. Materia Beast, as well as probably an F.A. Don Dragster. Now this is a good board going against Sky Strikers. If they do evenly match against you, you could just get rid of these three here. First chain Abyss Dweller, and then get rid of these three here. Or you can use F.I. Don Dragster's effect to get rid of the evenly match, making you where he has to fight through the board that you currently have. So against Sky Strikers, it's pretty well. Against Altergeist, it can do okay with this kind of board. You might end up not be able to summon a Abyss Dweller. You might end up have to go for probably establish maybe a Nightmare Griffin if possible, or a Nightmare Phoenix or something like that. Somewhat, but most often when I'm going against Altergeist, I'll have this type of board, and some odd reason, like, I'll get my hand traps back and go on from there. So yeah, it's like, depending on your matchups, it's a really good situational deck. I'm going to show out with a couple test hands here and show you what I draw and then how I'll play these certain hands. Like I said, this will be kind of a short video, but it somewhat can help a few of you viewers out in understanding what I do with the deck and everything. This deck's strongest matchup is usually like Sky Strikers. It can do somewhat good against Altergeist, and also this deck is somewhat good against Thunder Dragons, depending on the hands you draw. So let's go ahead and do the first test stand. So I drew Charge Light Brigade, Ghost of Tophicus, Pot of Desires, Call by the Grave, and a Wolf. That is a really good hand for certain matchups, no matter what. But let's go ahead and play it out. So first off, drawing this type of hand, I wouldn't really play Pot of Desires first. I would play Charge the Light Brigade first. That way I can bait out the Ash, plus I can get mills and so forth like that. So let's do Charge. 1, 2, 3. So far so good. I milled, if you guys can't, I'm trying to make it where you guys can see everything here. I play Charge. I milled a Hat Tricker, Wolf, and Call by the Grave. That's kind of actually terrible, but the Wolf is very helpful. So, depending on the zone, I'll probably special summon Wolf all the way over here on the side. Then I'm going to play Ghost of Tophicus, so search out my deck. And I'm going to banish out... Where is he? I'm going to banish out Giant Rex, and then special summon Giant Rex. Now, the reason why I wouldn't really go for Balancer Lord right now is because I'd rather actually banish it when I have more monsters in my hand. And then after all this, what I'm truly going to do is I'm not going to overlay these two to summon out Minerva. I'm going to play Pot of Desires. And if they have something against Pot of Desires after I banish the top 10, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, draw 2. So I draw a Garnet and a Cobra. That's actually quite bad, but let's see what kind of what I banish. Some decent stuff, but it's not gonna hurt me here. Then, since I banished all that, and these were both special summons, so I still haven't used my normal summon yet, I'll overlay both of these to special summon out the Minerva. Then I'm gonna activate Minerva's effect, Detach. And if you guys, I don't think you guys can see my deck in graveyard here. So I milled all these. It's not that bad, but it Or I got all those in the graveyard. So now I'm going to activate Minerva. Mill 1, Mill 2, Mill 3. Doesn't matter about the draws, but I do get some pluses. Keep in mind, I still haven't used my normal summon yet this turn. So I'm going to activate Damage Juggler, Banish to search. To add the Hat Tricker to my hand. Now sometimes you don't end up with the same board on the first turn. You'll sometimes probably end up on the same board last turn. But it still will be like I would normal summon the Garnet, probably special summon the Hat Tricker, and probably try to link. I can't link into Curious, which is somewhat bad, but oof. I would pretty much probably end there. It's not the best hand, it's not the best board, but it worked. It got me stuff in the grave to feed up for a lot of other stuff, and so far if my opponent gets around the board, that's that. But that's somewhat of an okay hand. I wouldn't say that's the very best hand. So let's go ahead for another test hand. Let's go ahead and test draw. Shuffle this up real quick. Now that hand wasn't the best, but it was okay. It worked in some points. I'm still trying to figure out the hand a little bit. I'm also not the best shuffler when it comes to a big deck like this, because every time I do play this deck, it works pretty well sometimes, but it depends on the matchups. Usually determine your boards. So let's see. There's first draw, second draw, third draw, fourth draw, fifth draw. Oh boy, I drew Brilliant Fusion like crazy here. Looks like my deck wants me to play Brilliant Fusion so badly. But I wouldn't really play the Brilliant Fusion first. I'll play the Lone Fire first. And then I'll activate its effect. If they ash it, cool, I baited out the ash. Then I would pretty much play the Monster Reborn to special summon the Lone Fire Blossom. Then get the Lone Fire Blossom's effect again. And I want to special summon out. I'm not going to special summon out the Predaplan engine. Actually, matter of fact. Yeah, I might as well. Then activate effect, discard the Dead Wolf. Let's be in the graveyard now. Discard the Dead Wolf to special summon out Cobra, and then why not search out the third Brilliant Fusion? So my opponent would be like, oh wow, he's got a big hand. But what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to do what I usually do with my sort of boards. I'm just going to keep these two dead cards in my hand, both Brilliant Fusions, and then I'm going to play the one Brilliant Fusion. Keep in mind, guys, this is my first time doing something like this, so I really don't know really what to say besides do the combos somewhat, show you what kind of hands I draw, and also show you what those hands can establish. Like I said, this might be a shorter video, just depending on how many test hands I can show you here. I'm going to show out the Gemini Seraphinite here, then Juggler's Effect. I'm not going to search out Hat Trigger this time. I'm going to search out Trick Clown this time. And I'm summoning the Seraphinite here. I forgot to, I was placing it there. I didn't mean to place it there. I couldn't really see it on the screen here. Things I would do was I'm going to use the Seraphinite to get the additional normal summon. So summon out him. Then I'm going to link away with these two for my favorite two, Reproduculus, and then I'm going to hold on. Actually, I misplayed. Give me a second, guys. See, this is my first time doing this. I can't really see it when it's upside down here. I meant to search out the Hat Tricker, and then I was going to summon up Reproductus here. See, this sometimes happens. Cobra will still be there, Scorpio will be gone. I was thinking of something else. Turns out I didn't have the right amount of cards to do so, so sorry about that, guys. But Reproductus will turn this to an Earth, and then you'll link away these three. Spellcaster, Dinosaur, Earth, or Plant, which is now Earth. You'll link away these three to special summon out your Curious. This is luck-based, determining on what you draw out of this, or what you mill out of this. So I would pretty much recommend being careful sometimes of what you send to the graveyard, but for me, I'm sending a Snow to my graveyard. I'm going to scoot this down a little bit so you guys can see. Then I'm going to activate Curious Effect after my, say if my opponent wasn't going to cut, so it'll be like that, and then activate Curious Effect, mill 1, mill 2, mill 3. Obviously I milled a Felice, as you can see, so I'm going to special summon a Felice here. Then I'm going to activate Snow, and I'm going to banish 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then, yeah, I'm going to banish this one, 7. To special summon out my Snow. Then I'm going to overlay both of these to this zone. You want them to be over here on the side, on the corner, instead of here, because you want more room for more of your cards to get summoned. That way you can be able to use this if you're going first. So you overlay those two, summon out Minerva. Then activate Minerva's effect, detach, send the top 3. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. That's actually kind of bad of a mill. Well, usually you let your opponent shuffle your deck. I've seen this been done. Before they use their monstrous effects, I've seen most players let their opponent cut the decks to get the Minerva's effect. So let's do it again. I mill 1, 2, 3. That's actually still bad too. So yes, you can't really establish the one board, but it usually takes 1 or 2 turns to do this. Usually this deck is more of a second turn base, so you usually go second playing this deck. Most often, but sometimes you don't. So you can see drawing a few cards is you can make decent boards with Curious and Minerva, and your opponent has to go against a couple floaters. But sometimes you can establish the one board, such as Sayuja. Sometimes you can make a Sayuja with the F.A. Don Dragster, Materia Beast, and Buchan Tommaso. Usually with my test hands that I've done, I usually will end up with this type of board. It somewhat works. There's sometimes you have bad hands. Sometimes it's a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. You end up having bad hands. I have heard from a few players that they want me to try out Judgment Dragon for the deck. Judgment Dragon to me is sometimes inconsistent in this type of build because you're turbining out Curious a lot faster. And if you draw Judgment Dragon in mid-game, it's good, but late game, it's actually quite bad because you could be losing. And if your opponent hits you pretty well, you probably won't have the actual, resources to work with. So I'm going to do one more test down here. Enter Fleece, Lone Fire Blossom, Charge, my favorite trap card in the deck, and then Solar Recharge. So this is not bad of a hand. You could see what you can draw by doing your base luck. If you're going first, this is okay of a hand because you have a lot of cards here to bait out the Ash Blossom. So if I was me, I wouldn't really mind losing the Solar Recharge because I have Lone Fire Blossom. So, but for facts, I would actually play the Charge first. And if my opponent would dash that, I still get the mills. So I mill 1, 2, 3. Now that is an amazing mill here. If you guys can see it. I milled Global, Revival Golem, and Giant Rex. Those of you that don't know what Revival Golem does is when it's sent from the deck to the graveyard, I can get a free special summon. So he'll be a free special summon for me. Then obviously Giant Rex, and those will go to the grave. I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to make it where you guys can see somewhat the graveyard in my hand as well, and things like that, because I am working with a tight screen here. But yeah, that's what you mill off of that, and then you'll special summon the Revival Golem. Then you'll activate Charge as effect to search, and if your opponent didn't really ash this yet, then I know whether your opponent might be ashing a few other card effects, but other than that, if your opponent doesn't have the ash, this is an amazing hand. You'll search out the Raiden here. And what you'll pretty much do is you're not going to, your opponent will cut and everything, you just let your opponent cut. But what you're going to do is you're going to summon the Lone Fire Blossom. After your opponent gets done cutting and everything, you're going to summon the Lone Fire Blossom. You're not going to activate the Lone Fire Blossom's effect just yet. What I would do is pretty much play Solar Recharge, ditch the Fleece, draw 1, draw 2, mill 1, mill 2. Now if you guys want to know what I milled a Damage Juggler and Monster Reborn. If you guys don't already see that right there. It's not the best, but it's actually pretty well. Then you'll activate the Lone Fire Blossom's effect. If your opponent has something against that, oh well. It doesn't really matter. But if your opponent doesn't, this is how you usually would do it. You'll do that, you go on with your plays, you'll special summon each Lone Fire Blossom, activate Lone Fire Blossom, then you activate the other Lone Fire Blossom, then you're going to special summon the Proto Plant, go for Scorpio. You're going to ditch his other copy, the one you drew, and say if you didn't draw that, it doesn't really matter, it's cool. Then you're going to search out Cobra, you can special summon Cobra there, then you're going to activate Cobra's effect to search out Brilliant. There you go. You're going to shuffle, it doesn't really matter because you're not really going to do much after that. Then you're going to play Brilliant Fusion, sending both Garnet. And now since you already have Damage Juggler in the graveyard, you'll send the Snow, just in case. Then you'll activate Damage Juggler's effect, you'll banish it from the graveyard. You'll banish him from the graveyard to search out the Hat Tricker, making it where you have 2 Hat Trickers in your hand. After you summon the Seraphonite here. Sorry about that. Where is he? There he is. You'll summon out Seraphonite. Then you'll use Seraphonite's additional normal summons. So you'll normal summon Raiden. Then you're going to activate Raiden's effect. Mill 1, mill 2. Nothing really good, but it's more food for Snow. That's usually how I do it. Everything that's usually in your graveyard is more food for Snow. So you have that like that. And then you're going to link away with both Scorpio and Seraphonite for your Reproduculus, and then you're going to activate the Reproduculus effect to make this Earth. Then you're going to activate your Hat Triggers effect, or one of your Hat Triggers, the special summon. Then you're going to link away with these 3, like I showed you before. Then you're going to special summon out, oh, not Sayujin. I hate it when you try to grab something and it falls out your hand. You're going to special summon Curious. But you're going to summon out. Well, since you're going first, it doesn't matter which zones you take. So I'm going to keep it there. And then I'm going to activate Curious's effect to send... Really, what I do want to do is get more of an established board. So the best bet I want to send, since I already have Snow and Grave, I'm going to send Felice. Felice's effect is special. You shuffle. And obviously your opponent will pretty much cut, blah blah blah. You still have Snow and Grave, and you got a lot of cards to banish within your graveyard, as well as a Giant Rex, Brilliant Fusion, a dead Brilliant Fusion, you have Giant Rex in the graveyard, you have Glow Ball in the graveyard, you have Snow in the graveyard, so you could go off with Snow here, to special summon Snow, by banishing 7, so if I was me, I would banish these 2, because they're useless, so 2, 4, 6, and then I'm just going to banish Giant Rex as well to get Giant Rex's effect. I'm not going to use a Glow Ball's effect yet, so banish them and special summon Snow. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to link away with a few of the cards here. I'm going to link away with Snow, Felice, Giant Rex, and Curious to special summon out Sayuja. Now I'm going to get Sayuja's effect to draw 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to put back 3. So I'm going to put back the Gommenberg, the Garnet, and the Callby, and keep the Trick Clown in hand. So put these on the bottom. I'm going to keep the Trick Clown, because I'm going to activate Sayuja's effect to special summon the Trick Clown. Keep in mind, you still have the Pentanite card in your hand, which it becomes a level 4 monster, which is very useful, and then Hat-Tricker, just in case you use this Earth monster for other plays. So what you're going to do is you're going to overlay both Raiden and Trick Clown. And you're going to special summon out your Minerva. And then you can activate Minerva's effect. Now, in this point of the game, you don't really want to summon out Minerva, but noticing me, I want to get more draws to get more enablers in my hand for another play I want to show you. So you discharge Trick Clown, 1, 2, 3. Now that's what I want to mill, is that Lumina, because I want to show you something. And then you mill Lila, obviously, and then you get 2 draws, so 1, 2. So now you have Effect Feather in hand, so you can disrupt your opponent's plays. And then you get Trick Clown's effect to special summon to your side of field. Now you're going to use the Glow Ball to special summon Glow Ball by milling one. So let's mill one. Oh, yay. Spell card. Not really needed right now. Let's go ahead and go out more. Let's see. Now the next play I will do is the Glow Ball with Revolver Golem. Synchro with those two, special summon out the Interior Beast. So I'm going to summon out right here. Now, I do have a rank 4 and stuff like that, and everything like that. I'm going to activate Hat-Tricker's effect. Special. Then I'm going to set this guy, but then I'm going to chain with this effect to special. Right there. And then I'm going to do Snow's effect again. And I'm going to banish the Minerva. I don't need him no more. I don't need her no more. Banish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... and 7, so the Raiden will go in the graveyard. Then you're going to special summon out Snow. Because you don't need these cards no more. Now, the reason why I banished Minerva, because I don't want it on the board no more. I want to show you something different. I'm going to overlay both this guy, Hat-Tricker, and Snow. To special summon out my favorite guy, because I want to show you something. I'm going to special summon out Bujin Atamaso, and then I'm going to activate Bujin Atamaso's effect. Detach a card. To special summon one of the banished monsters I banished. So I'm going to special summon the Lumina. Then I'm going to activate Lumina's effect. Ditch the charge because I don't want it. I don't need it anymore. To special summon out Felice. Then I'm going to sync her with these two. For an FA Don Dragster. Now this is usually the board you want to end up with. Yes, you do have a dead Brilliant Fusion on your side of field, and oh, that's bad, and stuff like that. That's what everybody will say. Personally, this would be a board you personally want to get. I know the other 2 test hands were actually pretty bad, which is understandable. And I get it. But overall, this is usually what kind of board you want to end up with. Something just in case if your opponent tries to get around you. You have Bujin Atamaso to get back your hand traps or anything that you really need in the middle of the match or whatever. Personally, like, you'll add back Damage Juggler since he's the only hand trap in your banish pile. That way, if you're going against a Trickstar player, this can actually help you against him. Plus, you do have Interior Beast and FA Don Dragster, so if they try to play evenly match on you, you have FA Don Dragster to negate that. Now, most players don't see that coming, and this is a really good level 7 Synchro Monsters. That's the reason why I play it. Now, coming up in the future, there will be 1 or 2 changes into the deck after I keep testing it out, and if I can be able to get to my locals, I'll be able to test out this deck a little bit better and see how well it plays in a certain meta. But on the online duels, where I test this out, this deck actually pretty well works. This is much more of a longer video than I expected, but as you guys can see, depending on the hands you usually draw, can show you what kind of boards you can make up. Now, if your hands are pretty bad, just try to make out the Exciton Knight if your hands are pretty well, you would probably end up establishing the same board I just showed you earlier. If you can't really bring up Legion of Tommaso, you pretty much probably end up bringing Abyss Dweller. So there's a lot of disruptive plays in this type of deck. But I hope you guys enjoy this. Like I said, this is my first time doing this. I know the video is a little bit extra long, but I hope you guys enjoy. And those of you that actually wanted this, I hope you guys enjoyed. In the next couple of weeks or couple of days, I will be uploading Elemental Hero deck profile, mainly specifically Mask Hero deck profile of my variant, how I play it, and see what you guys think about it. I will be uploading that probably in the next couple of days or so, but I hope you guys enjoy. This is Dragon Rockstar signing out. Peace.